Hey everybody, it's Didi. I'm back again, and I'm here to do my flip through of my journal that I made last month for the July Junk Journal Challenge 2025 that was hosted by Lee over at Lee's Art and Junk Journal Wonderland. So last month was fantastic. I had a great time creating this journal, and so I'm going to flip through so that you can just see how it looks as a whole. So this is a journal that I made last year, and it is made from a paper bag, and it is covered with paper from Pepin. So that's why it looks kind of newish and not really junk journalish. But I have this thing about doing these kind of bougie journals like this. And it is not sewn, it is stapled. And it is a little fat. So let's get started. So this was torn edges. I really like the color on this one. It's just really pretty with the pinks and the purples. Then we did this, which was a touch of gold. Unfortunately, a little bit of my gold came off, but that's the problem when you use, the gold sheets, is that it's kind of fragile. So what I did was I did this ongoing expressions of uno tocco di oro in Italian, a touch of gold in touche d'or in French, writing it until there's no more space. And literally I did it like this, like a little bit like a snail. So it really wound up right in the middle. The next one was this one, which was botanical, and I was thinking of mostly leaves. So I decided to just draw one, like a series of leaves together. Just with touches of green here and there. I quite like this one. I think it's really good. The leaves really pop off the page. Then I did this one for something vintage. And I think the real thing that's special on this one are these little discs that I made with a string that I glued onto some cardboard. And I took time to spin them around in circles. And then when I got to the size that I wanted, I glued it all on and cut it around and used it as a decorative item in this large spread of something vintage. Not bad, this one, but I think these are really the best thing about it. Okay, this was tag. I'm not really used to making tags, but I think I'm going to start making more tags so that I can put them into my junk journals and in different places. This one is a funny tag because it's a big tag, which is glued on. There's a small tag here in the front. This was a small tag in the front. And it has this little mesh front on it. And I think this is like a really different looking kind of tag. One color, I decided to go with blue, and that wasn't because blue is my favorite color. It's because all of the items I could find that looked interesting happened to be blue. So we went with blue for that. Okay, and then this one was Stamp It, and so I decided to do this sort of play on words by using old stamps and having the it be in the middle like this, just like with a few elements like cut here, which is what we stamp for the envelope. It's day 7 and using a wax seal. So yeah, I quite like this one. It's very pretty. Next is words, and here we have loads of words in French. This is from an agricultural journal newspaper kind of thing. So yeah, I thought this was kind of interesting to use. Next, we had lace. So I only had this kind of, it's like lace from a shirt. It's quite a modern type of lace. So I decided to mix the lace with the paper towel, and the paper towel, I keep these when I'm using ink And once it dries, I can pull them apart and use them in collage. So I was playing around with ink yesterday, and this one is fully dry, so I'll probably use this at some point. And that's what I did here. And I used these cutouts which came out of the Flow magazine. On this side, we have worn. So I decided to use hairpins and a pair of earrings. So I made like a kind of very strange, elaborate kind of collage, but I think it works. I think it works really well. The color scheme is good, and I like the idea of using the earrings and the hairpins as a way, you know, with these dangling tags like that. So I think this is a really good one too. Okay, next we had Scribble Doodle. So I just kind of did this one freehand. I took a marker and I just went freely on the page, and then I colored in areas to give this sort of, I don't know, it's like a Miro inspired kind of spread, but I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, next we have, next we have this one right here, which is window peek through. So I decided to use these frames as window peek throughs and make it look like it's in like a night sky, and that, you know, you look like you're looking through a telescope, and what you can see close up is this, you know. So I did that with a, you know, black background, and, you know, did a lot of stippling with paintbrush to get the different splattered colors and stuff like that to make it look like a night sky. So I enjoyed doing this one as well. I think it looks really good. Next we have, this was map. And for once I had a map that I could actually use. And I tried to give aspects of travel. So there's, of course, Paris. And this isn't even really Paris. This is, I think it's like Las Vegas. But I like that it has the Eiffel Tower, and there's the L'Arc de Triomphe and the Grand Palais, and then, you know, we have the Au revoir Paris, and then we have the hot air balloon, which is also synonymous with travel, you know, gives a nod to travel back in the day. Little VW van making its route, you know, on this map, and the pointing finger going along the, you know, going along the route that the person is going, you know. So we have there, and this is like a little boat. And then I just added this because these are like, you know, places to visit. A globe because it's, you know, it's a travel. It's a map. And the background here is actually a train ticket, which I thought looks kind of cool there. Okay, so that's map. And oh wait. Okay. Then we have faded photograph. Now this one, I had a photograph here, and I used the tracing paper to give the aspect of faded. So you can see that it is faded when you look really close. And I use these sort of, they're like negatives to go with the photograph kind of theme. And I did the background with some diamine ink and water to give this very beautiful muted purple, blue, gray background. Okay. Next, we have this one, which is day 15, which is written in the margins. So I'm kind of like flip it a little bit like this so you can kind of see the right way. So with this one, I used this picture in the middle, which came out of the Flow magazine. because the theme I wanted to do was books. So I thought about written in the margins. This was going to be dedicated to all the books that I've read so far this year. And so all of these little tabs that are around are all the books that I've read this year so far. And I added the 2025 because that's the year that we're in. And the background is, it's sort of like a frame of more words from books. So written in the margin, it's like double fold. But I really, really like, this is like one of my favorite posts. All right, and then next we have this one, which is postcard. This is day 16, and I really like this one as well. So I wanted to give this postcard like a kind of theme that was hooked to a particular trip. So I decided to use this postcard, which my husband and I got on holiday a couple of years ago, 2 summers ago, when we went to Britannia. So I got a little map online, which focuses on Britannia, this postcard, and then I found this lighthouse picture online, which had this kind of smoky feel to it. So I continued it all the way around. And I did a background that was sepia ink and water to give it a more like a homey feel to it. And I had this postcard, which was in a book that I have. And so I just wrote here a postcard to Lee. And I addressed it to July Junk Journal Challenge 2025, C/O Lee's Art and Junk Journal Wonderland, Australia. And with the little airmail stamp. And I put here, you've got mail. Here, there's like a little telegram here. Join in the fun for July Junk Journal Challenge 2025. And I added a wax seal with the letter D. So yeah, I really like this one a lot. And also added some old stamps here as well to give this postcard a real feel. All right. Just make sure this is in properly like that. Yeah. All right, this one was day 17, which was found in the forest. So as you can see, my leaves are kind of holding up. They're just drying. So this was sort of like a baggy kind of feel. So I used some wrapping paper that had like, it has a leaf background. And I got these leaves from my garden. And I glued the paper so that it would be a little puffier, that it wasn't, just laying flat. And then I added little holes to put the leaves. And I still like it. I think it looks great. This could also be a good idea to do with flowers and then dry them and put them in here, or put them in here fresh and dry them and just have them closed over. So I really like that one as well. Okay, this one was a kind of strange one that I did. This one was, as you can see, day 19 tea bag. So we have, the nice teapot. And I used the ink stained paper towel for this as the background. And I made like a, what do you call that? Like a strips that were interlaced. And I put like holes so that it looks like it's trying to escape. So we have these little squares that they're like coming out of these holes. And so I glued those down. And then I had my tea bag down here. This is a fresh tea bag because I didn't have any more old tea bags. I think I had used them all. So I put this tea bag and I put it like the tea was splattering on the table. So I glued. And this is holding up pretty well, the tea on the paper. I just put a lot of glue and I put all of the tea and then I waited for it to dry. And this is what we got. All right, the next one. This one was day 20, old person. This one had a moment to think about it, but I came up with an idea finally for it, which is to put collage underneath the picture because I took the picture. These are like AI pictures because it's very hard to find pictures online that you can use for free. And this one I could use for free. So I photocopied this one onto tracing paper. And then underneath we had a series of collage with different elements. And so you can see how it looks through onto the man's face. It almost looks like he's tattooed or something. And then I put the different descriptions of the man that were in the article that went with the picture. And I did like a decomposing of a smaller picture. So here it's his thick hair is white as snow, a rounded nose, sharp cheekbones. You have the cheekbones there. His eyes, although tired, shine with a soft tempered glow of deep understanding, wisdom of years well lived, Caucasian descent. And then here it says his skin weathered by time shows a map of creases and lines etched out by laughter and sorrow alike. So yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, next we have day 21, and this was antique pattern. And I basically used some letter writing paper, which had motif from William Morris on it. So both of these are William Morris prints. And I thought I was going to use that as my antique pattern. And I decided to spotlight these two black portraits, which I think they go very well with this theme, with the pictures as if it's hanging on a wall somewhere. All right. And then we have day 22. Was tickets. So this is a whole theme around cinema. So like you have the screen, the popcorn, the drink, you've got the seats, and that's actually a pocket. And when you flip it over, I've written down the movies that are playing at the moment: Jurassic World Rebirth, Superman, F1, The Fantastic Four, and Dracula. And so that's like written on a film strip. And then we have the tickets here, which I cut these out so they look like they're popping off the page, and added a little bit of washi tape here and a bit of black, and we added ticket there. So I really like this one too. I think it really looks good. And last but not least, we have day 23, which was book page. So I used particular, these are from two different books. One that's called Right, She Said, and the other one is To Any Lengths. And so I put them together as if though that was the novel's name. And I added some paper that's in Polish, some paper that is in English, added a little bit of washi, added some cardboard, added this, which looks really good, which is this, this is used to put bouquets of flowers in. It's kind of meshy, and I just love the way it looks on things. So yeah, so that was it. And then here, I just add a little thing. This is the end of July Junk Journal Challenge 2025. What a fantastic experience. Lee was an excellent host and really encourage community until hashtag JJJC 2026. And so I put that here because this is, you know, you can stick it here and it's like a little pocket. And then here I have, this is like a little bookmark that I had made. So I was using that to help me find my spot. And that's it. This is my journal from July Junk Journal Challenge 2025. So I hope you enjoyed this. I thoroughly enjoyed doing this challenge, and I can't wait to do it next year. Comment below and tell me what you thought of the challenge, if you followed it closely. And stay tuned because I will be back very soon with another video. Bye-bye.